All right, I've got the perfect trio for you. I have this crazy addictive truffle popcorn, some spiced nuts, and a cranberry Negroni. It's gonna be perfect for your next party. There is no substituting homemade popcorn. You see how easy it is. You put some coconut oil, generous, couple tablespoons of coconut oil in. You add your kernels, and I used a combination of purple and yellow kernels, and you see it has like a lot of different dimension and color. After you make it yourself in just a pan, you don't need anything special. You will never ever buy that microwave garbage popcorn again, I swear, and this tastes amazing. Not to mention you can say I made popcorn from scratch. Okay, so we're making truffle popcorn because I think when you're entertaining and you have people hanging out, especially by the bar, they want something to drink and then they want something like salty to eat it with. So I'm using some white truffle oil. It's not cheap. It's like 30 bucks a bottle, but you wanna use white truffle oil because it's a little bit more mild than black truffle oil. And it has just that really nice fragrance of truffle. And you're gonna give maybe a couple of tablespoons. Pour it really lightly. You don't want too much, first of all, because truffle can be very strong. You also don't want your popcorn to be really greasy. So a couple tablespoons of popcorn per like a gigantic bowl, so probably 6 cups is good. Now we're gonna put some salt. You can use truffle salt as well if you want it to be even more truffly. Not too much salt because now we're gonna go in with grated Parmesan. Parmesan and truffle oil is like the ultimate combo. And because we have that, I'm like, my mouth is watering already. Because we have the truffle oil, all of this Parmesan is really gonna stick to each kernel of popcorn. I'm gonna give it just a little toss. Let's give it a little taste. Oh my God, this is so good. So the final thing we do is we take some really thinly sliced scallions, green onions, and just sprinkle them on top. Come on, who is not gonna want this by the bar to munch on while they have a drink? Yum. Okay, all right, let's make some spiced nuts. For our spiced nuts, I have a stick of butter and about a half a cup of brown sugar. I popped it in the microwave to melt, and I'm just stirring it to combine. I want this flavor combination to be sweet from the brown sugar and buttery and salty, a little spicy and earthy. So the earthiness is gonna come from fresh chopped rosemary. It's like 1 stalk or about a tablespoon. And I want it to have that smokiness from the ancho chili powder. Now it is a little bit spicy, but the real heat is gonna come from the cayenne. And I am pretty generous with my spice because we're using a lot of nuts and there's so much sweetness from the brown sugar that it can really handle some heat. Some regular kosher salt. I'm using unsalted but roasted nuts, which is important because I want to be in control of all of the salt. And then I'm also gonna put in some onion salt. This is like, it really makes a difference actually. We're gonna give it a tiny little taste before we put all of our nuts in. Oh yeah, you get that kick at the end. Whoo, that's really good though. I have mixed nuts. So like 4 cups in our mixture. And again, I eyeballed this whole recipe. Let's start with that. And now we're gonna bake it for like 10 minutes at 350, just until it gets toasty and all of the brown sugar really sticks to the nuts. Just a little sprinkling of salt. See, once you know the flavor combination, you can adjust the seasoning. You want it saltier, add a little bit of salt. I mean, make this your own, really. Okay, so while it bakes, I'm gonna get all of the ingredients and we are gonna make a Negroni cranberry spritzer. Okay, so we have our gin. You can really use whatever gin you like. I'm using Hendrick's, but you could use Zephyr, which is a little bit milder, doesn't have as much juniper. Campari, love Campari. Okay, so if you've never had Campari, it is a bitter orange liqueur that in Italy they use as an aperitif. So they will make this drink and you have it before dinner, maybe while you're watching the sunset. But look at that color. Is that not beautiful? And I love the bitterness. You know, a cocktail doesn't need to be super sugary sweet. And now for the sweet vermouth. Up until now, I have never used sweet vermouth for anything other than cooking, but God, I love it in this drink. All right, so the color's already really beautiful, and I used a gigantic ice cube. Do you see that ice cube? Love it. You could use regular ice cubes, but it melts a little bit slower, so it's not gonna dilute your drink, but it's gonna melt just a little bit, so all of the ingredients and the flavors really kind of meld together. Give it a good swirl. So it's just a little bit chilled. Now I'm gonna pour it into my champagne flutes, about halfway up. And then I'm using a raspberry cranberry sparkling water. You really could use any flavor you want, but I think it's super festive for this time of year. I mean, look at that color. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, perfect with some bar snacks while guests are coming in and the house smells like the holidays. So there you have it. You have some like sweet and spicy roasted nuts. You have Parmesan truffle popcorn and a Cranberry Negroni. What could be sweeter for the holidays? I'm Roni Proter. For more recipes like these, just tag me below, subscribe, let me know what else you want to see. Happy holidays, and I'll see you guys later.